Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. Just to let you know, the Prep Phase League is not an official affiliate of Tryon Worlds Incorporated, and Tryon Worlds is not an administrator of this tournament and assumes no responsibility for it. But with that said, we're going to get underway. Now, they are providing some generous prizes to these top teams. You can check about it all in the Discord. There are GG boosts, there's custom titles, there's skins that are after the freelancers, the winner's pick with the PPL logo on it. I mean, there's a lot, so we do have to give them generous thanks. First up, we're going to have the Imperium versus Midnight. What a matchup we've got coming in. We saw both these teams yesterday, if you guys all remember. We did have, let's see, the Imperium beating Cookie Cutters in some edging out the edge of the last match in such a tight fashion. And here they are today in day 2, guaranteed one of the top 4 spots and maybe playing for number 1. On the other side, we do have DI Odin's Wobots lost to Midnight, so we have Midnight now. And Midnight is going to face off versus the Imperium. So let's take care of a few administrative things in the background here just for these teams, and we'll get you guys started. The teams are almost ready. Alright, so getting these teams all ready, and of course, everybody's super curious about the minutia of the rules. Now, we do have our rules on our Discord available for everybody. We want to make sure to provide the most fair experience possible. This is on a delay, so there can't be any screen watching or anything like that. And we definitely have a pretty tight pick ban phase and a lot of good home and away rules to keep the matches super fair, super entertaining. Alright, and I'm just informed too, we can now accept bits, and we now have a sub button. Super excited news. We were recognized as somebody who can be an affiliate, so they definitely like the stream. We provide a consistent quality product here, and if you guys want to see more of it, well, we're in Season 4, we're not going away, right? So, you go ahead and subscribe, or at least follow, just to get news on when we're updating and to see us in your followed chats. But don't forget that if you got some bits you want to throw away to cheer for your favorite team, or if you want to help out the Prep Phase League and get some prizes by subscription, currently no one draws any sort of salary or any money from this. This is purely voluntary. Any donations have gone directly to the prize pool, so your bits and or subs will be in good hands. Alright, so these teams are going to get ready. The Imperium versus Midnight. We have Dr. Jester, Asher, Hossie, and Knight on the Midnight team, and on the other side of the on the Imperium, and then on the Midnight team we have Tigarius, Craze, Bladum, and Kelric. And it does look like we're going to go ahead and ban Evos. Evos is banned out for right now. And Cloudspire will be the map, so they do not want that Evos map we saw a bunch of the other day, with its variety of terrains and some of the advantages you can get from the oval walls, the long distance, and really pushing your enemies to one side or the other, as well as the long chases you can get. They're going to go straight for the small map. Knight picks Cloudspire. And so then we're going to get into the pick ban phase. Pick ban phase for Cloudspire. Usually pretty interesting. There's a lot of champions people like on this, and there's a lot of interesting strategies you can do because it is so small that you couldn't get away with if your enemy team could run away with you, if they could figure out what you're doing and take time to go ahead and suss you out and figure out what's going on. But here we are in the pick ban phase. Now, typically, it's been Zuki and Quark, although we have seen the respect bans come out, as well as some pup bans. And we have seen Zuki and Quark both slip into the games, but looking like they're not going to deviate from the norm right now. Quark is the first ban. Followed up by, since their second pick, you gotta believe Zuki, but we'll see. And it is indeed. So now the field is wide open for any sort of strategies that you guys want to put out. And you could do anything here. I mean, the double supports have been shown to work pretty strong. You've got some slide pocket picks. Of course, some of the stronger moves teams have been doing is just picking up straight up good firepowers to start out with, and then filling out the team with niche picks and supports and frontliners as they see what the other team has. And no exception here. Following the book, they have Celeste, Lockwood, Blackburn. I mean, if you don't have Zuki in the game, those are currently the top 3 go-to consistent firepowers. Now, of course, Gremlicians is good and can do some damage over time, and Gray's got some specific uses with tracking, and Juno's real good if you can get a great support for her. But in terms of consistency of damage, over walls, ignoring cover, bouncing shots, those are the 3. And then double support right away. They pick up not only Aurora, but they also pick up Helio at the same time. Aurora, a common counterpick to Helio because she can give most of the team unstoppable, and they just pick that up right away. They say, you know what, we need a true healer, and we want to pull away that unstoppable that the other team could just blanket get. Let's go ahead and grab both at once. Now, they are a little light on damage because of that, but with that super aggressive Tigurius Rask here we've got coming out, we should be able to see some really good combos coming out a couple times from the Helio and the Rask, and then Craze throwing out just crazy heals in between. Tigurius here. So it did swap around. Yep. It is Crazed on Rask and Tigurius on Aurora. Over on the other side, we've got just straight up good damage team. I mean, this is, if you want to provide a good over walls, you know, through cover, we're going to always damage you. You either have Blackbird, Celeste, or Lockwood. They got 2 of the 3. And then your frontliner, you probably want Phaedra. Can hit through walls, can do consistent damage, can always get those double, triple hits. And 2 firepowers of the same range, great. Pick up Suren, love it. Whereas the other side doesn't have that, so the Aurora's probably better for them. It's a solid set of matchups. No surprise here. These teams competed out of 20 to be here today into the top 4 after a grueling season. They definitely know what they're doing. You can see them throughout all the replays that we have. They're definitely teams that are aware of how to play at a super high level, so I would expect nothing less. Great compositions, little lighter damage on the Imperium side, but some great combo ability if they can manage to make everything work. And man, they are going to be tough to kill, especially with multi-person healing and single target between the Aurora and the Helio. The double single can sometimes be a little trickier, but the spread that they have, I like it a lot.
Mission starting.
Alright, so we are getting into game. Let's go ahead and get this up for you, and we'll make sure the teams are on the right sides. So we have 2 full rotations going out here. Tigurius and his team following what's on the left side of your screen. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jester and Asher. With Celeste, no surprise, again, Celeste's teams usually take a turn or 2 to get into the action because the other team wants to avoid you while you have might, and Celeste doesn't want to overexpose herself. So you probably see Rask going a little bit stronger around the side, whereas everybody else, Dr. Jester and team, will just hang out and not get too aggressive, one expects, although could be. Alright, so now here we've seen the full switch around, and just so you guys remember, it is a Crazed, Kelric, Tigarius, and Vladimir, your blue team. Over on your red team, you've got Dr. Jester, Asher, Hossie, and Knight. Red team being Imperium, blue team being Midnight. You've got, as predicted, two teams staying pretty far away thanks to that might stealing in the early on. You do have some vision catalysts going on early on, so they know when the other team, if they're going to be doing a full chase or a backup and engage. And that's super smart because now, even though they only have sight on Knight, they know the other team did a full return, that they weren't over in the front corner, and that they made it all the way back around to the other side. So now we might see some engagement, although only Knight and Crazed know where they are. Knight can hit Crazed and not vice versa, and actually they don't know where Crazed is, so probably not even damage this turn unless Crazed decides to take a crazy swing. But Crazed, now that he knows where the enemy team is, yes, Kelric is going to engage. Gonna go ahead and throw on that black hole again, right in the middle of Hossie and Asher. You can't ask for a better spot. Now they both have dashes available to them, but Crazed can do some predicting of this because it's unlikely the entire enemy team is going to dash. Do you dash to Jester? Do you dash to Knight? Where do you go with this? I don't know, but plenty of options, and Knight is in a great spot in the middle. I think he can only get 2 of the enemy team, but even still going to draw a lot of damage. So, popping those bugs. And, oh, using the spray to get all 3 with the wider AoE. Very smart move. They're going to go ahead and grab all 3. Hossie and Asher calling the bluff, knowing Crazed is going to dash. Don't even move, but it's okay because Crazed jumps in the middle and looks like it's going to get a double. Hossie gets a triple shot and goes unstoppable. Dr. Jester going to unstoppable too. They are popping all the unstoppable buffs. Nobody's going to get pulled through. Everybody unstoppable this turn. There's an unstoppable mending swarm, and yeah, just a lot of unstoppable buffs. So smart moves with nobody getting pulled through, but now Hossie is back out of the fight and has a healing buff he doesn't really need. Dr. Jester's hurting in the middle, and the double support team pretty healthy overall. We're going to zoom over to this side so we can see the action unfold. Asher facing down Vladimir, Knight versus Tigarius, and the trio of Dr. Jester, Kelric, and Crazed off on the top of your screen, getting ready to rumble. Kelric throwing up the shields. Vladimir is going to go ahead and throw up a trap. Where protecting the health buff. Dr. Jester dashes away, does not want to die this turn. Vladimir and Asher fight it out. Vladimir grabs the health to further help in that fight. A little less damage, but a lot more survivability. Knight gets a double trigger of his bugs and goes ahead and does some serious damage as Dr. Jester does a little bit from the background, but still Kelric, Tigarius relatively healthy. Knight actually pushed back out of the fight, and unless they dash in, is in trouble with this trap, although red team is regrouping. The Imperium gonna get together in the middle and see if they can't help things out. The real problem is Dr. Jester. If he doesn't have Catalyst out to teammate, well, he's not in that much trouble this turn. This is actually one of the weaker sides. While they have some great combos, this team does not have a lot of range damage hanging out there. Blue team, not so much. So Hossie takes a shot and misses. Knight gonna go ahead and try for anything they can get. Tigarius just healing Kelric, bouncing shots off of Asher and Hossie. And Dr. Jester over in the cover. Wisely picked up by Crazed. Crazed gonna go ahead and follow them right into that bush, even though they had stealth catalysted out of there. Or maybe, yeah, it was stealth catalyst. Crazed picking up the bush, but oh, doesn't see them because of the invisibility. So sitting relatively safe at a relatively bad spot. Will the enemy team guess where it is? Now they know it's invisible catalyst. There's only so many places they can be. Asher choosing to jump out, believing they're safe for the turn. Vladimir taking out a direct mighty shot from Hossie. Not what you want. Knight's continuing the spray. Crazed just throws out anything they can, and it looks like maybe that was where Dr. Jester was trying to move. because it looks like they knew Dr. Jester was there. So was Craze trying to move to Dr. Jester's spot? Or did they just do some excellent predict work? Either way, lots of damage on Dr. Jester on a turn where he couldn't really have expected any. Kelric throwing up their own black hole, and this will be a problem. They can only get so many unstoppables, even with all the mods, every turn. They're going to throw Knight and hopefully be able to avoid any follow-up coming up. Although Knight has wisely saved the dash, so even being pulled this turn would not be so bad. Tigger is going to weaken and reveal the enemy team as Asher jumps back for some healing. Does go through the Ion Cloud, but thinks it's better than the damage they were about to take from this swiping. Hossie taking the direct shot. Bladum ultings are definitely better. Will kill Dr. Jester, and Asher saves a lot of damage by taking a little. Dr. Jester throwing the grenade, just barely heals back up to 3. Will live for another turn. Knight still popping these multi-person attacks. Gonna get thrown off into the corner. Asher safe where they are for now, and does have ultimate. So does Kelric. Crazed could get in there and do some serious damage if he decided to dash in with that Kelric ultimate. Tigerius also has ultimate, so big heal and lots of damage that could come through. You gotta believe Tigerius might use theirs, although Kelric might save it. Hossie's still coming up on lots of damage, and with Might, all the abilities up, this looks to be a good spot for them. So far, pretty even in the middle of the game, although Dr. Jester's running for their life, so currently a 3-on-4. Asher decides to go ahead and pop their shielding anyways, and a wise move because Tigerius pops their ultimate as well. Hossie getting a triple. Everybody's taking damage over here, especially as Knight locks the enemy team into a position. They can either run away or engage if they want to. They did put the ultimate on Crazed, who and will try and just hit Knight with that. Now tries to follow out, can't. Knight had locked them in place, so just locked in Asher's damage, but won't return any of their own without a dash, which is probably what you're going to see. I mean, Pain Train almost certainly coming out. Although it will mean more damage for them, so maybe they Pain Train to somebody else. Tigerius heals up. That should knock Knight back if they don't dash. But again, Knight's been saving this dash for any turn they're not next to anybody. Crazed just dashes over, wants to get more damage on Asher, but Asher teleports over to Knight. This will really put some damage on Tigerius. And Crazed finds out, hey, there's nobody home anymore. Sorry. But the teleport was used. Bladum still picking up all these healths, chasing around that firepower in the back as Tigerius just knocks back Knight, tries to juke into the bushes, but I don't think you're fooling anybody, especially with Asher there. And there's only 3 spots you can be in, so Knight's definitely got those covered. Kelric over on the side. Can they go over walls? They cannot, so no help for Tigerius this turn, although, again, low damage support and firepower. Tigerius should be fine for a turn or two. Bladum and Crazed moving over to try and cut off Dr. Jester, but Hossie's there for support. And Jester dashes away from Crazed, who dashes in. Crazed now locked away from people. All the dashes down. Bladum throws some smoke bombs, hits Hossie, but Jester's dash once again saves their life. Direct shot missing, but Hossie's going to return the favor for Bladum. And he has the direct damage on Tigerius. Pretty solid, but they just don't have the full DPS, really. The full damage package to be able to take down Tigerius. Tigerius is going to live for another turn. Now, no cooldowns are coming up soon, so that could be trouble if Knight continues to chase, but it will still take a little while. Jester looks to be relatively safe. I don't believe, yeah, Upheaval has no mods that will be able to hit Dr. Jester. Dr. Jester seems like they could survive this one. The amazing escape of Blackburn. We've seen Blackburns with 3 deaths and Blackburns with over 800 damage yesterday. Now we've seen one play an amazing escape game. And is there anything Blackburn won't do? Knight takes the trap, but goes ahead and returns some 16 damage to Tigerius. Now that is even mighted, so like I said, gonna take a while if he doesn't find a way to get in close. Jester just a holding position, expecting the enemy team to cover all their running options, and they were right, but once again safe. Nobody with a shot on them, and if you don't move, you can't get hit by a wall, right? Asher in a 1v1 with Craze could jump out, but really, you're either getting closer to Crazed or over to Kelvic either way, and Kelvic's going to pull you. We'll check in on the top of the map, rotate a little bit. We've got the wall out just in case Hossie decides to jump out. A single hit over on the top. Dr. Jester just throwing out that ult to try and get Blattum. Direct attacks on Crazed and Kelvic go off. They're slowly lowering the health of this Midnight team. And nobody hit by that pull. Kelvic falling over finally gets in touch with Jester. And now Blattum and Kelvic have the chance to do the damage. But they would take quite a bit in return. At least Kelvic would. Now Kelvic does have some shields available. But they may elect to focus Blattum instead. And that's that guessing game. I've only got one shield to give. Who do I go to? And Asher can jump in to actually give the healing. Asher can jump in to heal Jester. Jester's still not dead. What is going on? Healing over in the back on Tigerius as Asher jumps in for the body block, no less. Knight's going to jump in to slow down Crazed, even though they have haste, just going to even that out. The healing going down keeps Dr. Jester even healthier than Asher. Crazed swipes will completely miss because of that. And they managed to take down Celeste in the first kill of the game. Even Blackburn just taking all these healing mods to catch up with this double support team. But Asher jumping in, beautiful body block, keeping Dr. Jester relatively healthy. Unfortunately, doesn't have, I don't think, anything for Dr. Jester this turn. And Kelvic and Crazed can focus that down, but not all of it, right? Asher's going to jump out tonight, get some healing, just try and stay safe. As Knight continues to provide the double damage. Lots of might going on, but not a lot of actual damage. With no might on the enemy team, Jester survives one more turn. That seems to be the common theme. Jester surviving one more turn. Hossie taking the shots up on the top, wearing down Tigerius, and still has that ultimate available to use at any given time. Dr. Jester running out of options here. Pretty much would require the enemy team to forget they are there, as they'd only go up to 19 unless, does this weaken enough? I don't know. Kelvic, though, sitting in an unfavorable position in between a bunch of the enemy team. Will get some shielding. Slow and weaken on Crazed. They're going to try for the survival here. As Knight spreads the shots out just enough to hit Crazed. Jester's own healing brings him up to 19. Hossie still bouncing the shots down, and Tigerius is back there, but unfortunately it is enough for Crazed to finish this out. Wasn't doing anything cute with lesser damage. Went for that basic and did the damage. Tied it up to 1-1. Now Crazed and Kelvic pretty low, though. Asher sitting on ult, so deceptively healthy. Tigerius only at 30, but facing down Hossie, who can definitely do that damage and more. And things are turning slightly in Imperial's favor. Imperium has what it takes to survive some more and to get a second kill before turn 20. Asher shielding up and probably running away, to be honest. Kelvic gonna throw their own black hole, trying to set up as much damage as possible for next turn, expecting some dodges. Tigerius heals for 4, hoping to barely survive. Knight's gonna trap Crazed in with him so they can help trying to finish that off. Hossie with the bounce shots gets 34. The extra damage on the bounce is just enough to do it. A throw leaves Asher in place. Sorry about that camera glitch there. We did see Upheaval being used by Crazed to lock Asher in place. So Asher's got nothing but their own heal and presumably their ult heal. We'll check that out. Yep, their ult heal as well, but facing down more than enough damage. The question is, if Crazed wants to do damage, they have to dash in and would take damage themselves. So they have to finish off Asher without Crazed jumping in. Indeed, Crazed just going to dash over towards Knight. Over on the top, Hossie surviving. The trap hits Asher, but Asher heals back up to 46. Will it be enough? They use the heal and the basic. Knight's going to deal damage to Kelvic. They're not going to find it. Crazed doing a little bit to Knight. The extra damage from the ultimate from Kelvic. And Blattum has the ultimate angle on them. And that'll do 38. That's going to bring it to a 2-2 game going into the top of 20. Crazed and Hossie low, but with escapes available to them. although Kraze may not elect to use those, with only the basic damage of Knight going to come out. Hossy's sitting in a pretty safe spot. Kelric also low, and it's possible Dr. Jester dodges in to just deal direct damage to Kelric. But Kelric has shields coming up next turn, could survive. So I think a lot depends on where Kraze and Hossy decide to run off to. Bladum dashes back to try and help Kelric. Knight's gonna try and dash in, and they do plenty of damage. Knight, though, dashed into a lot of ultimate ability there. So Kelric's at 23, can go up to 50, or 24, can go up to 54 right now. Knight's in a lot of trouble. Gonna have to Catalyst out, I think, because Pain Train, Kelric's, all these basics, that's enough. And Knight would go down from that. Jester can throw in the grenade, deal some damage to Kelric, force out the shield, and they can finish it off next turn. So there's Knight catalysting away over into Stealth Square using Fetter, but just to get away, the grenade comes in weakened, only doing 19, but it's enough. They forced out the shield. However, the healing from Tigerius gonna find Knight and Jester, as well as keep Kelric high. We did not account for that. Hossy still slowly running around the side. Kraze trying to throw, maybe guessing Knight's teleport. And now Hossy's around the side, has ultimate. Kelric for sure dead, right? I mean, he can get can get 30. They need plenty of help from Knight and crew. Also, everybody knows where Knight is, but I don't believe everybody can get shots unless these smoke bombs can get over there. Knight may survive the turn. Pain Train can't hit Knight. It's Kelric's basic and Tigerius's. Jester's got ultimate and Hossy's got ultimate, so they're definitely killing Kelric. Question is, can the return kill happen? We'll have to wait and find out. Hossy dashes through to Kelric. Asher dashes through to heal Knight. And we've got a stealth catalyst from Bladum hoping to survive the turn since they can't contribute to any of the low health targets. Knight taking the direct damage, but the ultimate from Jester, so much damage. Does get the finish off shot. Knight gets pushed back, but it's a 3-2 game. The Imperium taking it down. Very, very solid gameplay. Going into overtime, turn 22. Everybody just barely escaping to the end. You saw Dr. Jester with a miraculous living streak till almost the end. You saw everybody surviving on super low amounts of life, but eventually it has to give them with 2 no-dash supports. If you don't keep yourself healthy that early, that's going to wear down on you. The other team can just avoid damage constantly, and you're going to have to take it and heal it instead of dealing return damage. I mean, you can see the healing numbers were just tremendous, and the damage numbers actually be led on their team by Helio, but that's not always what you want. There's super low numbers from Kraze and Tigerius. They were only able to put out about 700, 800, 900, but a little over 1,000 damage. Well, about 1,300, but compared to the other team who's sitting on mostly 400s, 1,200 just between 3 of them. And it's just amazing how long they were able to survive there. The firepower favor definitely went in favor of, the front line. Knight up in the front, Crazed could not keep multiple targets because of that shorter range, so had to rely on crowd control, but it didn't really work out, right? So Crazed, the Rask has better crowd control, a shorter AoE range, just wasn't able to get the damage down on the people they needed to. The healing came out beautifully for Tigerius, shielding slightly for Kelric, but the damage they wanted. They didn't get as much damage out of Bladum as they wanted because they constantly were focused because it's the only firepower on the team. And the other side was able to just transition into, you saw that it's almost 3 firepowers really, 400 on everybody but the support with plenty of contribution themselves. Well played game. Alright, so here we're going to load into Game 2, the Imperium taking Game 1. In fact, let's add that in here. Well, we'll go ahead and swap sides first. We'll see if that shows up well for you guys. Alright, so the Imperium taking an early lead, but remember, anything can happen. These games are prone to go into sets of 3. Excuse me while I deal with just a little administrative issue here. Alright, so we have a ban out. That's going to be Flyway Freighter. And you know what? Bladum's going to say we're going to go straight back to the same map. So let's get into these pick bans. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. We've got right away banned Helio for this one. Give me just a second. Alright, we've got right away Helio band, Zuki band as well. Nobody wanting that out, but they do not want to deal with Helio at all this time. So Celeste being picked up right off the bat. They don't want to have to pop all that Unstoppable like they did last time. Wow, that was a lot of Unstoppable. But the Imperium staying true to their strategy. They're going to go straight up for the good damage, good firepower, good frontliner composition. They're not going to do anything crazy or super combo. And they're going to say, beat us at our own game before we make a change, right? Off on the other side, though, they're stealing out both Lockwood and Blackburn, making it tough. They've got some solid damage of their own over walls, through walls, all sorts of stuff. It's what we love to see. That's really what the Metastone returned to. For a while, it was double support. We saw some triple firepower in there. We saw some combo Gremolitions play. And now it seems to be straight up the tier list of firepowers. However, Quark being picked up, as well as Asana. What a set here. Now, Orion's actually a common combo with Quark, so the other side picking them up is not a bad idea. That will limit them to pretty much single target healing and predicting pulling damage off, unless they do pick up a second support here, which isn't too bad of an idea considering they've got double firepower, but could definitely consider a strong frontline as well. Also a good composition for Pop. On the other side, they're hovering over Gremolitions. That would lower their firepower a little bit, but gives them a little bit more options in terms of movement, positioning, and warding the enemy team off. They can make their team a little bit safer. And also, with a Quark single target heal, teams tend to go, we've got one firepower you can focus. We've got a frontliner who's going to survive on their own, and then want to pick a very, very, very safe second firepower. Somebody like Gray, somebody like Nick, somebody like Gremolitions. And we're going to say, you're never going to touch that person. Your only shots are on the person Quark has the tether to. And Quark's going to heal all that off. So that's the composition they look to be playing over on the Imperium side. Over on Midnight's side, they do elect to go with Rask. So they will go with the more damage-oriented route. They've got a strong frontliner. They've got two very strong firepowers, and then Orion in the back, known to do actually decent damage. In addition to some of their single target healing or pulling off damage, does have to be a little bit more predictive, except for that one heal, than some of the rest of them. Alright, so it looks like we're getting ready to go into game. I love to see this too. They've got light movement effects on both teams, but they're not heavy into it, so they're not going to force out those unstoppable catalysts. But they're going to make the enemy team think about it for a second, or think about the unstoppable mods, and then go, we'll stick to our regular stuff, which makes them more effective because of the thought is there.
Mission starting.
Alright guys, we're getting into game. Imperium's got one win. If they win again, they are in the World Finals. Midnight trying to catch up, and a game that went to 22 turns with easily a few turns could have went different ways and could have been the other way. Midnight definitely with the possibility to take this down. So the question becomes, what are you going to see, chat? Is this going to be a 3-game series, or is Imperium going to become a steamroller going into the finals? We're going to find out soon. Once again, opposite side rotations. You got to take Celeste on this map, right? Because steals the might. And similarly, they're going to wait out at least a full turn of the might just to say, hey, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with a free might Celeste for 2 turns. We wonder if they'll catalyst the same spot again, try and be tricky. No, they're a little more aggressive with the catalyst. Gonna know if anybody walks through instead of where anybody is, and they do see the walkthrough. Yep, so they saw Tigerius, Bladam, Kelric, and Craze. They saw the entire enemy team. They know they're over here. And you do see this as the Midnight team, so you know what's going on, and you can just full-on reverse if you want to and say, we were seen, we don't want any part of this, let's back out. But Core's going to be constantly building energy with this tether, and also with Radiate going out every turn. He's going to get the first ult of the game. Hasi wisely saves their own might, knowing nobody would be so brave as to run over it for this turn. And now Crazed has gone in. They've gone full aggression. No cover, no support. Crazed has just decided for a full-on run and hoping maybe the enemy team did the same, but no. They're facing down Hasi. The only, again, their only target is the person with the core heals. Does Craze use their dash to avoid what they assume is a lot of damage this turn? Or do they stay still? The answer is no. They're going to use a Fate Transfer that gives some unstoppability. And Craze taking just a basic swipe. 11's going to get healed right off. Hasi with the weakened damage, not finding much sense. It is mostly being pulled off. Tigerius taking a lot of damage, but healing a lot of it right off. Asher had covered the dash since they couldn't hit directly. Smart move. Knight tries for the root, but the unstoppable on Tigerius, the unstoppable Fate Transfer, means Craze is not locked out in the middle of nowhere, is able to once again chase down Hasi, but it's only the Cork target once again. Bladam doesn't have any great shots from around the side. Kelric might know where Dr. Jester is. No. Kelric has no idea, but a rough idea where Dr. Jester might be. Tigerius going to go ahead and throw off that core, Quantum Core. I always forget the name of that. But try and deal some damage to Hasi. See if they can't get through that healing as they start to heal up Crazed himself. Jester just putting out damage. They're going to try and focus down Craze despite the healing and shielding they've got. They've also got the focus on one target so Tigerius can fully help that one person. But it's a bit different when you're being shot by 3 of the enemy team versus 1. Grenade comes over the wall. Kelric actually is able to contribute to Hasi, and with the double throw through the trap, the nice combo play. Bladam had thought he had thrown out a hopeful trap, but no, the throw comes out. That leaves Hasi relatively low. Asher's still pretty safe, pretty much at full health despite the throw. Jester, I don't think he has melee mines. Let's go check that out. Nope, it's extra damage mines, so not able to contribute to Craze except for their Splort. Will be able to help out with Kelric. Asher's just going to keep on healing Hasi halfway to that ultimate right now. Only Tigerius really beating them. And of course, Crazed getting up there as well. Hasi dashing out, wanting to avoid damage this turn. With another full turn of healing, they'll be right as rain. Kelric direct shot through the middle. They're going to predict Asher stays. Asher does, and Asher's starting to take damage, which they cannot easily undo in a one support team. Bladam just trying to hope for whatever bounce shots they can get. Not able to find it. The knockback pushes Kelric into a position that they are easily able to be damaged. Craze has jumped through, so does have shots on multiple people. Might be a decent turn for Asher to dash, as they will just automatically continue to heal Hasi, and really only one target there. Tigerius, Blattum, Crazed coming around the side. They're keeping Tigerius and Blattum very safe, but Blattum doesn't have shots because of it. And they may need to put a little more aggression in this match if they want to finish off that Quark and Hossie, who are getting low just on the play of Kelric and Crazed here. But they could really use that finishing touch. Dashes out from a lot of people. Kelric actually dashing into a smoke bomb as Crazed and Kelric take a little bit of damage. Hossie still healing back up. Tigerius won't find Quark since Quark had left. Blattum just trying for the shot. No dice there. And since they knew they were leaving, they go ahead and try and reveal. They do find out where Blattum went to and where Tigerius did, so they know what's available to hit them. Knight has a turn where they can be hit by a lot. But they're at full health. Do you dash out? Do you stay? We don't know. Knight does, and they'll show us how to play that Asana in just a moment. Crazed is going to be focused by Hossie and maybe Asher. Can you get this angle? I don't know. Probably. We're going to find out soon. They're going to just shield up Kelric here, so Kelric won't take much damage from Knight. But Knight's going to bounce through, avoiding a lot of damage and dealing damage to Tigerius twice by hitting Kelric and Tigerius directly. Asher finally starting the tether on Crazed. And the big ultimate from Hossie, finding the double Kelric, and it's Crazed, even though it does go through cover. Asher trying the grenade, just wanting to find Quark, not even trying for the double on Hossie. Says, you know what, I just want to deal damage to Quark. Make sure it gets in. And now there's 3 of the enemy teams surrounding the lowest Crazed possible. It's Catalyst or die here. But if you Catalyst, Pain Train isn't up yet, you will ulti revealing yourself. So Pain Train will come back up, but then you're just prone to die again. Do you just take the triple hit with the upheaval? That's a choice. On the other side of the map, Knight facing a similar situation, surrounded by the enemy team. Couple on low health, could do some damage, but much more healthy on that side. Knight Catalyst out, but since they use Fetter, they trigger the damage from Tigerius anyways. And Crazed will jump into the center of the map, just avoiding pretty much all damage. The bounce shot's going to go ahead and miss, as is Kelric. They used their Catalyst to avoid 3 good pieces of the damage, even though they took a little bit and did reveal themselves after the Fetter hit. Does lock down Tigerius on the health, so forced to pick up that health, even if they didn't want to, but Tigerius will stay relatively healthy there. Kelric, though, without a shot. Blattum without much of one. I don't think they can bounce in the Jester, although they might be able to. Crazed are still relatively safe. Asher and Hossie had retreated. So now it might be a full-on chase for the supports. We'll find out. Turn 10 halfway through. Doesn't look like a death coming anytime soon, but could come in later. Especially with these double support matchups. You typically don't expect them until late in the match. Or not double support, what do I say? But the super protective supports. The super single target supports. Dr. Jester firing direct shots at Crazed. And over the health as well. We'll pick up a nice double hit working towards that ulti. Blue team has fully regrouped. Imperium all the way over next to Tigerius. Tigerius electing to stay. Not inputting a movement that turn. Not sure if intentional or not. But Tigerius will be over near the entire enemy team. Hossie putting up traps in case of following as Asher finds the full team, so elects to ult. Why not? They'll build it back up, just preventing all damage. Looks like a stealth catalyst out of the way. We'll find out where they went in a second. Dr. Jester going to try and bomb up any escape paths from the enemy team. Of course they didn't catalyst in the spot that the basic attacks would hit. And so the full runaways. Where did you go, red team? Tigerius jumping over right on the other side of the wall is directly next to Knight. Jester around the back will try and ward off Blattum and the rest. Once again, they've got that positioning. Jester pretty much unable to be seen or in the background. Hossie in the front in cover, the only one that can be hit, supported by Asher. And Knight at full health. Imperium looking pretty solid right now. Craze just taking time to heal up in the back. Bounce shot around. They did find Jester, and if Jester retreats, they'll find even more damage. This is not what Imperium wants. Very smart shots by Blattum. Asher tries to cover maybe a dash, maybe Tigarius's jump spot. Tigarius is going to go ahead and use the ultimate anyways. Just getting that healing since I know Knight's probably swiping, and Kelvic shots over the wall on Hossie and Knight, trying to even up this trade differential. Tigarius now in a pretty safe spot. Knight does have ultimate to go back and help out their team. Jester did run back over that trap, and at less than half health now. Asher breaking all bonds at this point. Not bonded to anybody, and not a lot in range. We'll have to go back and pick up Dr. Jester. Over on the top of the screen, you see Blackburn with plenty of options on who to shoot. So Hossie and Knight are both going to dash out, try and completely eliminate the enemy team's turn. Bounce shot from Bladham, fighting these tight angles when they can't see the enemy team. Will still hit Dr. Jester. Tigarius going to miss because of the dashes. Dr. Jester starting to get healed by Asher, so Bladham can't 1v1 Dr. Jester in any significant length of time, especially with that knockback. Bladham's going to be caught out of the fight with the ultimate and have to do the full run back in. Craze does have the double upheaval available to him if it's that option he wants, although bombing run will be available next turn. Tigarius in a little bit of trouble, not much, but could be facing some serious damage. And Haas and Kelric just saying hi over on the top of the map. Real focus down at this cluster at the bottom. Dr. Jester throwing up might. That means these ultimate may be coming out. The dash out by Kelric does not want the damage, but Tigarius finds just Jester. They're just focusing over there. Hossie will pick up the firepower since Kelric did use their dash to escape. Jester with the ultimate, the big mighted ultimate, finds Tigarius, finds Crazed. Oh, 68 and 38. So much damage. That swipe will be enough to take down Tigarius and bring Crazed extremely low. Pretty much forcing out this pain train next turn, and then death for Crazed soon after. Has to know it's the end of the line. Crazed has the dash first, so could pick up the health, which could extend their life by a little bit if anybody else jumped over it. But Asher can't jump directly over the health, has to jump over a person first onto it. So Crazed would always get priority there, since they would be the closest person. Jester trying to jump out, Bladham dashing in, as does Crazed, but no, Jester escapes completely unharmed. Had to leave, and so does Quark. Quark actually teleported an ally. They're going to go out and try and find Kelvic, and Kelvic gets rooted, but is unstoppable. What a turn to use Unstoppable, pretty much saving their life, although it looks like it might be a 2-to-1 game pretty quickly. Kelvic does have dash, and I think you have to use it here. You cannot let the enemy team go up 2-0 with a Quark, healing them in a health buff. You've got to survive. Let's see if Kelvic has the magic that can teleport them to the right spot, or if they're going to get found out instantly. So they do Stealth Catalyst out of the way. Vision trying to reveal the enemy team. Just seeing if they can't follow up any chases. Double Mines coming out, seeing if they can't catch people walking forward. And where did
4 turns remaining.
Blackburn go? There's Blackburn over in the middle of the map. Keep that in your minds because he'll be disappearing again. But Blackburn right in the middle of the map. Easily shot by Dr. Jester, but nobody else really has an angle on him anyways, even if they knew where he was. Crazed Tigarius up one side, Bladham up the other. Bladham was finding some great bounces earlier, but just a little far away from the action. Not able to find much. Kelric gonna get healed back up as we go in here, but they still need to find a kill. Midnight still needs to find that shot. Crazed running in pretty strong here. Gonna go right next to Hossie with ultimate with no escapes. Hossie may just stay and elect to deal all this damage, and if you don't move, you can't get trapped. It's a great position to be in. They just need to find a little bit more damage to fill off Crazed, and I'm sure Dr. Jester would be happy to oblige. As could Knight, providing shielding. This could go up to 2-0 game right now. Knight dashes into the middle of a triple on the enemy team, as well as providing shielding for Hossie. What more could you ask for? But look at this fate transfer. You always forget about how much damage it can heal off. Craze probably going to live through this one. Although Tigerius is going to take a significant amount. And look at that damage on everybody. Bladum going low. Crazed going low. Tigerius about to go super, super low. 24 health, but they do manage to make everybody live. And a double Mighty Grenade on Asher and Dr. Jester gives them some serious kill potential. Especially with the shot from Bladum, that trade went much, much more even than I thought it was going to. Tigerius, though, out of everything except for Ultimate, that's just a little bit of healing. And if they use it, the Retribution Shield definitely going to apply the damage. Quark in the back still has an escape. Hossie does as well. Jester's got Catalyst. So it really comes down to who they're going to focus to kill, because Knight can't kill Tigerius a lot. Well, actually, Knight can with Retribution Shield. Craze is going to be the elected one to get the shields this turn. Interesting. They're going to try and kill for the damage. Asher jumping out, still taking some damage. Did they predict the angle enough to get the kill? Jester throwing down as much damage as possible, and they're going to help kill Tigerius on this one. And while Tigerius goes back up, they're going to take the Retribution damage to go right back down in the same action. Tigerius dead for sure. Craze taking a lot of damage, but not quite going down. Dr. Jester taking a little more. Knight with the swipe. And what do we see from Kelvin? The ultimate going down for a triple hit and a tie game. The dash by Quark did not get them away. They did not predict that Kelvic shot and move far enough away out of the line of fire. So now Craze has a pain train back up. Hossie could dash out, Kelvic can dash out, Bladum can dash out, and Knight can dash. I mean, there's so many escapes up turn 20. Usually you get into a game like this and everybody's used all their escapes to survive to turn 20. These players survive by positioning and skill, and they have all the escapes available when they need it. Can wait for the team to come back up. Hossie actually using Invisible Catalyst to get out. Craze with nothing left. Kelvic trying to dash. Bladum taking the damage. Doesn't think they'll get charged. A risky play, as if Knight had dashed back there. That would be the game. Knight running over the health bubble just to make sure the enemy team didn't go there. Crazed. No escapes, and probably the target of Hossie, unless they think... Well, no, they might think they can kill Kelvic. So if you account for the 25 from the smoke bombs, no, it's not going to be enough because cover for... Well, Knight could bounce around from the backside. That might be doable. Dash out from Bladum, and Knight didn't dash, so probably not a kill this turn. Just a spray to see if they can't find Hossie. Nobody can. Hossie sitting pretty in the one spot they weren't covering. Gonna throw those smoke bombs on Kelvic, and Knight with the swipe brings Kelvic just extremely low. Now Hossie with the dash means that Kelvic's dead and Hossie's pretty much alive. Who can they get the kill on? It's not Knight and it's not Hossie. Both of them have dashes available. It looks like Kelvic might be the final kill of this. Again, going to a 22-23 turn. Probably 22 turn game. Just so evenly matched down to the end. But, oh, look at this fate transfer from downtown. Will it be enough, though? The dasher only does 6. I'm not sure Hossie has it here. Spray through gets both Knight and Hossie. Their direct damage only does 8. Kelvic has 2 health. Does this shot. Getting the shot. Reaches by 6 damage. Just barely enough. They get that final kill. Of course, they had gotten Lockwood anyways, but the exciting part was the kill off Blackburn. I mean, Lockwood was going down. So 4-2, but the game much closer than the score says. Down to turn 22. A kill earlier on either side would have ended it in either turn's favor. And final turn, they just ran out of escapes over on Midnight. Imperium takes it 2-0. And a strong showing. Quark always has huge healing numbers. Again, they've got frontliner and firepower damage roughly similar. And it's just so much damage for a single person to heal off. You're seeing these numbers on the other side. Not quite up to that level. And Imperium going to step into the final looking like a team to beat here. We'll have to step into the other side of the bracket shortly. For now, we're going to get an interview over with, it looks like, Asher. So give me a second, chat. And we're going to bring down Asher. How you doing, Asher?
Hey man, I'm good. I'm good.
For those of you watching, Asher was the Quark from last game.
Yeah.
And doing an excellent, another 2-0, although, man, these turn 22s, you're killing my heart here.
Oh yeah, me too. Let me tell you.
So, how did the rest of your team is basically firepowers, right? You've got Knight over there putting up damage numbers in the 400s to 500s, supporting the rest of the team. How do you wrangle these guys to get close enough to... I'm sure they always want to do damage. How are you able to get them in range to keep this Quark healing the full time?
Honestly, we've had to work on it real hard because at the start it was mostly me tethering people and then people breaking them very fast, or like going into a position where I could follow them, but then I would be in a very bad position. And then, you know, like mostly I just work well with RC. When we tether together, it just works well. Knight tends to, you know, go a bit more crazy. He's a bit wild.
Well, it seemed to work out great for you guys, although, man, a couple kills in either way. So how... Now, talk to me a little bit about... You guys held your dashes for quite some time. In that game, there were a lot of options where you could use them or you could not use them. How do you decide, call the bluff, or, you know, catalyst or dash, and which one? Talk me through that a little bit.
Honestly, there's no... That's the thing with this game, you know? There's no set rule of what you should do because there's many many parameters you have to take into account before making a decision, and it's never going to be a simple decision. So our rule of thumb is that we should always secure a kill, like never, you know, if someone's low HP, always make sure that he's going to dash, you know, don't bluff. Because if you don't, like, if you say, oh, he's gonna bluff and he's just gonna dash and you don't kill him and then he just shoots at you, you lose the trade and you might just lose the game from that. So we always seek your kills. That's one. And after that, it's mostly just, you know, just good judgment, I'd say.
Gotcha. I mean, we've seen that solid individual play, which is why I was so interested in how you keep them together as a support there. So talk me through a little bit, too, about you guys have had some great decision-making in the games. Is there any sort of shot calling going on in terms of turns, besides just, please don't go there, I can't heal you there?
As a support, actually, Knight does the general shot calling, which is basically sometimes will be in 2 turns, they will, like, we will need to be in this position. You know, so we say, oh, let's go counterclockwise to this position, or, you know, it's like a general instruction to follow, so that we don't, you know, start tunnel vision and stuff like that. Like on Asana, when Knight plays Asana and he goes a bit wild, you know, it's actually usually it's controlled because we know he's gonna get ult and he's gonna be able to rejoin. And you won't be able to do that, and usually it's, you know, it goes well. But what we try to do is just to stay as a pack mostly, never stray too far away from one another.
Well, it seems to be working. You've had some tight games with some very, very strong showings, lots of damage, great teamwork going through. How do you feel about the rest of this event? You're going into the finals coming up next. Could be versus EU, could be versus... no, excuse me.
No, it's only NA.
Yeah, excuse me. It is only NA on the other side, so it's an EU versus NA finals. How do you feel going into this? Are you guys prepared? Are you confident? Do you think you're going to win? Or do you think you're the underdog in this situation?
No, we're going to win this.
All right, sure. That's what I love to hear. Any other final parting words to other teams, people at home, before I let you go?
Honestly... No, I'll keep that for when we win the finals.
Okay, for when we win. I like that. All right, well, thanks for being here. We enjoyed your presence, and good luck.
Hey, no problem. See you at the finals, eh?
All right. That was Asher from Imperium, who had just moved up into the finals. And we're going to take a short break. The next game is scheduled for about an hour from now, I do believe. That's 3 Eastern. You can find the schedule all on our Discord. So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in just under an hour with the other qualifying game. And after that, the finals as soon after as possible. So make sure to stay tuned. Go ahead. Don't forget, you can throw bits at the channel if you want to cheer on your favorite team. You can subscribe. Definitely follow if you want to see more amazing Atlas Reactor action in all of these teams themselves. And join our Discord if you want to be part of the action. If you want to either help out in terms of the organization, the staffing, the casting, or if you want to make a team and join, it's that easy for next season. So go ahead and get involved. You can find all your favorite players there as well, and you can watch all your favorite players in replays. Until then, just hang on during that break. Go ahead and get you guys a drink or something, and we're going to go ahead and get prepared for that next set of games that happens in just about an hour. See you then.